This video is about PTE academic writing feedback. So this video is very important for anyone preparing for PTE academic writing section because many students they keep asking, why am I stuck around 55 or 60 in writing? My grammar is okay, but my score is not increasing. What actually separates an average essay from a high scoring essay? And today I'm just going to show you exactly what the difference is. Not just by theory, not just tips, we are going to compare a medium scoring response with a high scoring response. And I will explain you the structure, vocabulary, grammar, development, coherence, sentence variety, and the hidden mistakes that will reduce your scores. Okay? So let's look into that. Let's start with the prompt now. So the prompt here is some people believe that universities should focus more on practical skills that prepare students for employment, while others believe universities should focus on academic language and research. Discuss both views and give your opinion. Now, this is a very common PTE academic essay type, right? You have to discuss both views plus opinion. So, you need to have a balanced discussion. You need to have a clear organization, and you should have a strong grammar with academic vocabulary. And you should also focus on the logical flow, and you should have a clear position. Okay, now let me give the first response. If you want, you can just pause the video and go through this response. So let me tell you clearly, this is the mid score or a low level response. I'll give you the reason why later. So first, you have to go through this. Nowadays, many people think universities should teach practical skills because students need jobs after completing studies. Other people think universities should mainly focus on academic knowledge and research because education is not only for jobs. In my opinion, both are important, but practical skills are more useful in modern society. Many students graduate from universities, but they cannot find jobs because they don't have experience or communication skills. Companies nowadays expect employees to know practical things and solve real problems. For example, engineering students may know theories, but sometimes they cannot handle actual work in companies. On the other hand, academic research is also important because it helps society to improve knowledge and technology. Scientists and researchers create new inventions and medicines because universities support research activities. Without academic knowledge, many developments would not happen in the world. However, universities should give more importance to practical training, internships, and workshops because students need financial stability and careers after education. Practical learning also makes students more confident and prepared for workplace situations. To conclude, both practical skills and academic knowledge are necessary, but universities should mainly focus on practical education because it helps students succeed in professional life. Okay, so this essay is not terrible, right? And this is exactly why many students get confused because when they read this essay, they think this looks fine, grammar is mostly okay, ideas are relevant. Yes, I do agree, that's true. But PTA academic high scores are not achieved by acceptable English. They are achieved by precision, sophistication, development, range, and academic control. Now let's break down the problems. The first problems, the ideas are too general. If you see the passages, you can see student need jobs to know practical things. Research is also important because it helps society. So these are valid ideas, but they are very surface level, right? There is no deeper explanation, no analytical development, no strong expansion. The essay feels repetitive instead of intellectually developed. A high scoring essay sounds more mature and academically layered. Okay. And the second problem, vocabulary range is limited here. You can notice the basic vocabulary here: important, useful, real problems, good, practical things. So these words are not wrong, but they are basic, right? High scoring essays use more precise academic vocabulary in a very natural way. Then when it comes to the third problem, sentence structure. If you see the sentence structure, it's very simple. Most sentences follow subject plus verb plus simple explanation. There are very few complex clauses, advanced transitions, embedded structures, or some nuanced arguments that you can see very, very little. So this makes the writing feel mechanically simple, right? And limited coherent sophistication. The organization is okay, but the transitions are very much predictable, right? On the other hand, however, to conclude, a high scoring essay flows more naturally between arguments instead of sounding formulaic. So these are something like a templates that we are using. Okay, when we have to say, we have to use these words, right, in order to show the contrast, and also it shows something like a robotic way, not in a very natural flow. And weak argument development. So the examples are underdeveloped. For example, engineering students may know theories, but sometimes they cannot handle actual work in companies. How? Why? What is the consequence? The argument stops too early. So that is one major difference between average essays and high scoring essays. Now I'm going to provide you another response. Okay. So you have to look at this response. And if you want, you can just pause the video, go through this because this is again a little bit more in length. And let me tell you why this one gets you a high score. Okay, we will discuss about it. The first one is about the sophisticated vocabulary. You have to notice the lexical control, contemporary higher education, research oriented learning, professional environments, industry relevant training, practical decision making abilities, intellectual advancements. Okay, can you see all these phrases? So here the vocabulary sounds natural, academic, and mature. It's not memorized or not forced and even not robotic. So this one is critical. Okay, and then the advanced sentence variety. You can look at the sentence complexity. Instead of saying just students need jobs, here we have given clearly employers seek graduates who can immediately adapt to workplace expectations, right? So by providing the answers this way, it demonstrates the clause control, grammatical flexibility, sophisticated fluency. So PTA Academic rewards this heavily. And the third strength is a deeper argument development. You can see the ideas are explored in a very deeper way. So the entire essay explains why employability matters, how industries evaluate graduates, why research benefits the society, and the why balance is necessary. So each paragraph develops logically instead of stopping after one simple ideas. So the ideas basically developed into a deeper way. And then the coherence that feels very natural, right? You can see the words like consequently, conversely, furthermore, nevertheless, therefore. So this creates a more academic rhythm. And then the tone is also academic. That's a big difference. The high scoring essay sounds intellectually mature. That's very important. Now, if you see this essay, it sounds formal academic writing, not spoken English converted into text, right? Because it's PTE academic, of course, and that is where many students lose marks here. So, my final advice is what you should learn from today's comparison is in order to move from 55, 60 to 79 plus scores, you must improve vocabulary precision, sentence complexity, idea development, coherent sophistication, academic tone, argument depth. And remember, high scores are not about using different words everywhere. They are about clarity, control, maturity, and logical academic writing. I hope this breakdown helps you understand what truly separates an average PT academic essay from a high scoring response. And if you want more real examples, feedback, breakdown, advanced strategies, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.